Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time on ON Radio. It's Monday morning. It's June 12th, and my name is Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us here on ON Radio for the a very long edition here at Coffee Ann. we're up in the thousands, right, Dave?
Oh, no.
Millions?
24,000.
Oh, wow.
Plus.
Okay. Yeah, what's up in the thousands?
Yeah.
All right, I'm Joe Callahan. That's Dave Richards. Good morning to you. Good morning to you there, Dave.
Very good.
And we're expecting Melissa Murray to join us. We got to get either Melissa a better alarm clock or a better car, Dave.
Well, let's not.
I was just giving her a little hard time.
Yeah, don't.
Melissa will be here
I
as
think-
soon as she can.
Yes. She's had a very, very busy weekend, you know.
I know, down there at the State House. Speaking of busy weekends, good time down there at the Burger King that we had on a Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
The crowd, as soon as you say, hey, we're giving away free food for a year if you get in line, people get in line.
Yeah.
And they were there by 9:30, 10 o'clock for that 12 o'clock noon opening.
That's right.
100 people in line that spent $20 or more got free BK for a year.
One really smart guy was there with a folding chair.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he saved his place in line, and he got. I remember seeing him, and he did get in time, and not that it was a time limit, but he certainly
No, it
amongst
was
the
at the
100.
first. They had 100 of those certificates that get you free BK for the. Well, it was like once a week for a year.
Yeah.
It's 52 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But there was only 100 of them, and when you got in line, that was the order.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. You make your order. Now, of course, they didn't want to just have a bunch of people come in, and they were looking for their best customers.
Yes.
People who are appreciated.
Not give me a don't give me a small Coke and be on
So,
your way.
Yeah. So there was a qualifying amount.
$20.
$20, which if you went in with your family, wouldn't be a very difficult target to hit.
Hey, Melissa Murray has joined us here at the Coffee Inn table. Hi,
Good
Melissa.
morning.
So what do you think of your friend Joe this morning outing you and just making disparaging remarks on your alarm clock and your car? You didn't hear it?
I said we got to get Melissa either a better alarm clock or a better car.
I do need a better car.
Oh, see, we do. I was right, Dave.
I mean, I love my car, but
All right. You could use an upgrade.
I could use an upgrade. Yeah, I've been looking.
All right, we're going to start a GoFundMe page. Okay?
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Do you have
Can you
any idea?
imagine?
That would be funny.
I was reading an article on just how many scams there are on
There are a lot of
GoFundMe.
scams. You really have to watch where you're sending your money on
Oh,
that page.
gee, and GoFundMe doesn't, according to this article, doesn't really care because, I mean, they take a piece
They
of
get the
all the
money
dollars.
either way.
It's cut, yeah.
Whether it's a scam or not, they don't
They
care.
don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
They just take the money.
Yeah. All you
What
do
kind
is
of a
post.
cut do they get? It must be pretty healthy.
5%?
Oh, gosh, I thought it was more.
It could be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
They're doing pretty well for themselves. But anyway, we were just talking about our down at Burger King this past Saturday. Great,
saw, yeah.
huge lines, good times. The DJ was good down there. Did he bring the cornhole with him? Was that his deal, or did BK bring?
I wasn't. I have no idea. I
'Cause-
really
okay.
don't know if it was his cornhole boards or not.
boards.
Kids
I
were
just
loving
wondered.
them.
Oh yeah, I mean they were playing the entire afternoon.
And you know,
so.
some of the kids, I mean, you hit a couple in. It wasn't all about hitting the cornhole bag into the hole for the kids. The kids were just having a ball doing stuff.
Playing with the
so
bag-
they
baggies,
grab
yeah.
the bag, and one of them does like a 20-foot arc with it.
Oh yeah.
It's going kind of in the general of the cornhole board, but to them, the most important thing: how high can I get this thing up in the air?
All right. The other fun thing that everybody had fun in line with was the Burger King was
Yes.
there. And I did ask management afterwards. I said, "Did you hire somebody to be the king, or is this an employee in the outfit?" And it said, "No, it was an employee."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, that way they don't have to make burgers that day. You got to be in the costume, be out there."
It was
But
more. It was more work being in the costume. of it.
Well, it might be,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he was on the sidewalk of Social Street, but when the line had gone down a little bit, and doing the Macarena.
Yeah.
They played the Macarena with the DJ, and he's out there with the
Yeah.
And he knew all the dance
All the
steps.
hand gestures
Oh, yeah,
and-
yeah.
right,
It was
yeah.
great. But he was having a great time. Everybody, high-fiving the king, and the kids love him, getting the picture taken with him. So
I will
so
say
that was cool.
the new king, the new king is a lot less scary than
Less
the
scary than the
original,
original king?
like mask of the
Yeah.
original Burger King, which was kind of. Do you remember it? It's kind of creepy.
Oh, really?
That's
like-
the way my daughter pointed out. So
Yeah.
so it is much better.
He's very
now.
friendly. He's much friendlier,
Friendlier
looking.
now, yeah. Too many complaints, I guess.
Well, a lot of little ones.
frightening.
A lot of
Yeah.
little ones wanted to have a high five with the king.
Well, this one looked good, so
Yeah.
they weren't scared of this one.
I saw one little kid couldn't have been much more than 3 years old. A little girl there in a little dress, and she's holding her hand up there, and he's got to go down almost on his knees to get to it because she's such a tiny little thing. But she got a big smile out of it.
And we had so many people stop by where I was taking people's names and numbers to win the 4 free tickets to Canby Lake Park. Really stuffed our box. We do need to maybe get a bigger box next time, too. But it did hold them all, and our congratulations to Sarah Furlan, who I still need to get in contact with, that she was the winner of the 4 free tickets to Canby Lake Park. Good for this time this summer. So
Excellent.
they were pretty happy, and things went very well at the new refurbished Burger King. I did ask management, do you plan on doing more refurbishments in the area? And the answer is yes. So at some
good,
time, the
good.
North Smithfield one over here is on the list for them to come in and redo. So it's a lot more spacious inside. I like what they've done with it. So, all right,
Long
so,
overdue.
Yeah, so things were good. Things were good over there. And boy, were they busy. And things went very well. And there was no gnashing of teeth. There was no yelling and screaming. There's no what's going on. You guys are too slow. Blah blah. No, there was none of that.
Good,
Came in,
good.
ordered your food, got your free BK if you spent over $20. Waited a little bit, got your food, and you were on your way. And the drive-through, which was not part of this whole promotion, you had to come inside to get this. That was constant as well.
Yeah.
That just kept coming and going.
And they have a
cars
double
coming.
drive-through there now.
Yes, that's part of the refurbishment, so they get your food out even just as quick. So there you go. So congratulations to them, and congratulations to the Woonsocket High School graduates. Back on Friday, they had their graduation ceremony. Things went okay, well, Dave. They moved to the auditorium because of the weather forecast, and that was the right decision. Boy, the rains came at
Yes.
around 3
Oh,
in the
my
afternoon.
goodness.
Right. There was pouring rain at 3.
Yeah.
Which would have caused some great consternation
there
over
at Barry-
Barry Field. But Joe,
absolutely.
you didn't see what I saw.
What did you see, Dave?
We're inside the auditorium, and by the way, I have to say, just to preface this remark, my admiration for Superintendent of Schools Patrick McGee has always been high, but never higher than now. This man of courage assembled a group of can-do people. On Thursday, as I think I mentioned on Friday, I was there with the police chief, the
Yeah.
fire marshal, every possible
Everybody had a say.
stakeholder. Right. We were all in there and all talking about right down to the guy who ran the sound system, us with the broadcast, the whole business like that. And I'm telling you, they ran a great ship, and I was honored to be part of that decision-making process. But they wanted to do it in the auditorium. They really, really did. Now, the students wanted to do it at Barry Field because the way it was getting around to the students is that this would have been, regardless, the last Barry Field graduation. Because the new field would be ready
next June. Okay.
Right, that's what they say, and it's quite possible. I know the
It's
timeline.
possible,
The timeline says that they would be able to do that. But with
Okay.
construction projects, us
You never
older
know.
people
Yeah.
who aren't high school kids and
No.
haven't
Right.
and have been disappointed far more times with deadlines than the high school kids have, we were a little bit like, yeah, right. Well, maybe it's the last, maybe it's not the last.
Yeah, we'll see.
But the fact is that they really wanted to get it done inside the high school auditorium, and they did. And the decorations were fantastic. The speeches were great. I mean, really great speeches. And sometimes it's yada 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 at graduations, but they had really great topics delivered forcefully. You know, the superintendent of school is out there saying,
He had a great
all right,
speech. Yeah.
listen, because now he doesn't know whether or not, when he's writing this script, this speech a couple days before, he doesn't know whether or not his moving to the high school auditorium is going to be a good thing or a flop or develop issues or something like. He doesn't know this for sure, but he wrote something that would work either way. All right, it's like this, students. You can learn a lot from failure. We all want to win all the time, and let's please try. But when you do lose, console yourself with this fact that you will take something from that loss which will better you and your community and somehow ensure against future flops. Mm-hmm. So that was a great speech, a really great speech.
And he had good examples of people that have failed who are champions.
He
Michael
did.
Jordan, Thomas Edison,
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly. Now, so we're on the air. It started about 3 minutes late because people were late getting in and getting to their seats. They held it because they wanted to be sure that everybody had a good time there. But so we went on the air at 4:03
With Romeo.
with Romeo making his announcements.
did a great
Romeo
job.
did a great job on the show. Oh, man, sometimes he comes out there to do the broadcast with us, and he's got 4 pages of great historical data and stuff like that. Never gets to any of it. Tries to work in this little factoid,
Yeah.
and right away he's got to stop talking because something's happening on stage. Well, this time he got a chance to read a couple
Plenty
of
of
pages
time,
of it. Yeah, he did.
Good.
And it really enriched the broadcast. In fact, I got to tell you this, and this sounds like a lot of baloney, but it's honest truth. Someone mentioned to me that, there was another company there that was, they had a couple of cameras and they were streaming on the internet, and they're professionals. That's what they do. And of course, they charge you to watch their stream and stuff like that. And kudos to them that you make a living, you find a product or a service, deliver it to the public, and do it. They were all good professional people. But the word that I got was, but we watched your stream because you had announcers. Because the other people didn't have any announcers.
So they just pointed the camera at the stage and waited for someone to come up there and
That's
speak?
right. All you
Okay.
saw was what came over the speakers
Yeah.
in the auditorium.
Okay.
But we panned the crowd and we got this and the other thing. So and Romeo did a great job. So we're very, very pleased about that. Now let me get to this part about my admiration for Dr. McGee. And I was delighted that as Dave Tebow and I were tearing down, I had a moment to get Dr. McGee by the side and tell him this. I said, look, I know that you took a heck of a chance going inside the auditorium. I know because I've been around for so long that years ago you would have brought that up and you'd have had 1 or 2 people somewhere down the food chain that said, nah, that's not going to happen, and everybody would have stopped working on it.
Wow.
It's a shame, but that's the way things were. Today's Woonsocket Education Department is like, well, couldn't we do it in the auditorium? Well, there's a lot against it. Well, can we mitigate that? Can we make the compromises? What if we tried? And being a positive thinking person myself, I'm very much in tune with that kind of thinking. And it impresses me when other people, especially people in power, take that kind of an attitude, and this man did. And he assembled everybody, from the IT people to the ladies in the office. Everybody got involved in this thing, and they made it happen. So, 4:03, we're on the air. At 4:10, down the back circuit in my earpiece, I'm hearing from the technician here at the radio station, which is 3 blocks away from Barry Field. Pouring downpour, torrential rain, and numerous thunderclaps and open lightning. At 10 minutes after 4. And I'm saying to myself, if we had been at Barry Field, if any one of the naysayers had said, let's go to Barry Field, or somebody, well, it might be our last chance at Barry Field, we got to go to Barry Field, and it would have been scattered to the cars.
Yes.
Over, right?
Done. We're all set. Yeah. Pick up your diploma tomorrow.
Equipment ruined.
Yeah.
Decorations ruined.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Yep.
And we would hope, but every real possibility of, with hundreds of people all trying to get to their cars at the same time, injuries.
Well,
could happen.
I could see people falling down the stands.
Yeah, because you can't continue with open lightning and aluminum grandstands.
That's right.
Right.
That's a bad mix. Right
Going
there.
50 feet up into the air.
Yeah.
So, once again, hats off to Patrick McGee, Dr. McGee and his staff. they made the right choice. It turned out that they actually saved the graduation by moving it into the high school auditorium. Congratulations.
And we saw Dr. McGee at the Burger King on Saturday as well
Yeah.
because JSC Management, who owns the Burger King, the franchisee owner, donated $1,000 to the Woonsocket schools, and Dr. McGee was there to accept the check for
Wonderful.
that. So good for them as well.
You can see all that on our Facebook page, by the way. We made a quick
That's
little
right.
video about it.
Yes.
All right, time for a break here at the Coffee and Program. Comments and questions can be called in 766-1240.
The food will not disappoint at Black Bar and Grill. Customers love the extensive menu and rave about how perfectly everything is cooked. For dine-in only, you can have your choice of chilled or warm lobster roll with fries. Black Bar and Grill packs the buttered roll with more than 1/4 pound of lobster. You'll love it. Black Bar and Grill, 1697 Mendon Road, Woonsocket, offers live entertainment. Be sure to visit the website to see the menu and the bands that are coming. Visit blackbargrill.com.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Wasting away again in Margaritaville.
Hi, this is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' inside the Tiki Bar, letting you know the Tiki Bar is now open 2 days a week on ON, AM, and FM, Saturdays at noon, and a replay Mondays at 6. The Tiki Bar is sponsored by Attorney Bob Lauder, the Carew Investment Group, Family Discount Furniture, and Pepin Lumber. Here's your chance to catch 1 full hour of Jimmy Buffett music inside the Tiki Bar, Saturdays at noon and Mondays at 6 on ON, AM, and FM.
We're local and live at 99.5.
Yes, we are, and it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray. And join me inside the Tiki Bar tonight at 6 here on ON Radio. So while things were going on over there at Cass Avenue for the presentation of the diplomas to the kids, good-sized crowd, good-sized class. Wasn't it 320
26.
plus? Wow.
326.
Good-sized class.
There have been bigger classes back in the
Yeah.
older days when the city's population was a bit higher.
Mine was
But,
373.
Is it?
I don't know why I remember that exact number, but mine was 373.
But Woonsocket Police were busy on Friday afternoon as well because there was a crash over on Social Street right in front of Krakow Deli. Woonsocket Police Chief Thomas Oates.
Not Krakow Deli's fault. That's where the
Oh, no,
crash
no, no.
happened.
That's just
No.
where it happened. Woonsocket Police Chief Thomas Oates states they spotted the suspect, 20-year-old Woonsocket resident Craig Washington, who was wanted on a felony warrant inside a vehicle. And then he decides to make a break for it. He sped off. And officers attempted to approach the vehicle. The suspect reportedly sideswiped 2 oncoming cars while speeding down Social Street and rear-ended a third before his car rolled over. Police were able to catch Washington along with an unidentified passenger from the vehicle, and they took them both into custody, but the passenger is not facing any charges at this time. Washington's facing several charges: reckless driving, a second offense, 3 counts of leaving the scene of an accident with injury, obstruction, and resisting arrest. He was also wanted on a Superior Court warrant for failure to appear for restitution payment on an original charge of assault and battery. 3 other people involved in the accident were taken to the hospital with minor injuries in
Yeah,
the other
that's
cars.
big.
And the incident remains under investigation. That took place on Friday afternoon.
The worst thing
yeah.
that you can do is not show up for a court date. Honestly.
Yeah.
It is.
People think it's nothing. But
Yeah,
it
people think
isn't.
it's no big. That is
Now
a
you've shown
huge
contempt of court.
deal.
Now
And
there's an arrest warrant, a bench
right.
warrant out
The
for
judge does not take kindly
Oh,
that
I
you
bet
don't
that
even
you didn't
show.
show up. Yeah.
It's you're better off showing up and saying, I don't have money, I can't pay this or that,
Yeah, got a
whatever it
little
is,
time,
but
yeah.
don't not show because
Yeah.
you're
Worse is going to happen.
yeah.
Wow. So, so he's now in more trouble.
Yep.
you. Oh,
Plus,
boy.
plus, when you get out of the car and make a run for it,
Yeah.
that's never good either.
After a rollover.
Yeah, and he had it. It was funny what I read. He was injured too.
Yeah, I saw the picture of the car.
Yes, it's a total.
It's yeah.
But he ran a little
That
ways.
was a car?
It was a car, a little black car, right? Yeah.
Hard to tell.
But then now he's injured somewhat. But he tries to mingle in with the crowd that's gathering to watch. Like, oh, maybe they won't realize it's me. And they did. The police are really smart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, we got you. You're bleeding. We think it's you. Okay, so that's what happened on Friday with the police here in Woonsocket. All right, the other big story over the weekend was the that bridge in Philadelphia that
Yeah.
burned. Tanker truck just on fire in the wrong place and just killed it. And that's part of Route 95. Now, Dave, you've been on it accidentally?
Yeah. Well, because that's now we've taken dozens of trips, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
Down to see family in Florida and back, and this is a part of Route 95 that you don't usually go on when you're traveling 95 from Rhode Island to Florida, because 95 goes through Philadelphia.
Like 95 in Providence.
Right, and but they don't let you
They don't tell you
just
that?
go through Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They have one of those routes, and I forget what the number is. There's an interstate ring route.
Yeah, like a 295.
Similar to
Yeah, like
295,
295 or
similar to,
yeah,
to our
495,
295
yeah.
or 495. That gets you around the metropolitan area if you're through traffic. And so, generally speaking, you'll do that. But I was on that one time when you're traveling north and you're coming back home, and maybe this is about 3/4 of the way through the trip, and you are a little tired. You've been driving for a while. All of the traffic to continue going forward to New England gets in the right lanes and goes right onto another road. Anybody who stays on 95 is going right into the heart of downtown Philly. And we made that boo-boo one time in the left lanes, moving right along, 95, okay, 95, okay. And all of a sudden we're seeing the neighborhoods. We didn't come down this way. So I did travel over that bridge one time by mistake.
And the governor of Philadelphia is declaring it a disaster, so they can
why not?
so they can tap into federal
Federal
funds
money. Yeah.
to hurry up and try to get it fixed as soon as possible. But they're still looking at months
Oh, yeah.
to get this fixed. So that's going to be
course.
an incredible.
It's a
mess.
huge bridge.
Yeah. 4 lanes
First, they
on
got
each
to
side.
clear away all the debris.
Yeah.
Then
And
they got to test and wait for the test to come back on the foundations and see if they
Yeah.
have to replace the foundations.
It's
Huge.
going to be a while. And I heard
And
another.
expensive.
Yep, and I heard another. It was humorous in some guy in Philadelphia. First, we lost the World Series, and then we lost the Super Bowl, and now the bridge collapsed.
Now we lost 95.
Things are not going well for us in Philadelphia as of recently.
Well,
So-
take heart.
So I thought that was
Everybody has
amusing.
their time in the cellar, and then they come back up again.
All right. Well, the House approved a $14 billion budget,
Yeah.
Melissa. So okay, it passed 68-4, which is pretty good, overwhelmingly passed, don't you think?
That is good.
Now we
68-4.
realize in the Senate, the chamber in which you're involved, that there are fewer drunken sailors because there were fewer sailors.
The ratio is just,
Right. So we get that. But and I'm teasing you a little bit.
I know.
Because it's not up to one senator what happens. We get all
Right,
that.
right.
So, but you're a good sport and you let us tease you a bit, just for the sake of the conversation. Now, what did I see that this budget that the House just passed is 56% more. 56%
Well,
more.
It says near 50% increase in spending over the last 5 years.
So, like, what are they going to do now that the ARPA money's gone next year?
that's a great question.
They got this maintenance of service expectation that they will not be able to keep up.
Yep.
Do you hear any conversations in the Senate with your colleagues there as to, your reactions to this kind of apparent fiscal imprudence?
Yeah, there's great concern among my colleagues, especially on Senate Finance. But I've been saying
Are you
this.
on the Finance Committee?
I am.
Okay,
Yeah.
it goes to you next.
That's right. It comes to us, and we'll be passing the budget.
We'll be
So
passing
it has
something.
it
You're
has
all
it passed
passing
both
something.
sides, right?
Yeah.
So the budget comes out from the governor. We spend all year hearing all of the articles plus all of the bills that have a fiscal impact, which is basically every single bill. And so we do that all year. Both sides do that. And then the discussions start back and forth between
Perhaps
the two
a
chambers.
little gamesmanship and bargaining.
Right. And then there is give and take, an agreement, and both sides walk away kind of upset and kind of not upset, which means that everybody's getting a little something, but nobody's getting everything. And then that budget goes to the House floor, and then sometimes amendments are made on that budget. And then it comes to us, and it has to be also passed by us with included in those amendments.
When does the Senate Finance Committee get this budget? Today? Tomorrow?
Well, we're caucusing tomorrow. The Democrats are. So I will find out information about our timeline tomorrow at 2:00. Very convenient time in the middle of the day. Don't worry about your job.
No,
it's
no,
fine.
just get
Everything's
here.
fine.
A little OT down
But,
at the Marble Palace.
I have been saying, we're using all this federal funds to make, trying to use them for one-time appropriations, not backfilling budget items that should be, filled with general revenue. That's not a good idea. It's not fiscally sound. But making these one-time investments. So my argument has been, all right, we're making those investments. How are we going to maintain them? We're going to invest in all of this infrastructure, all these things. We can't just let things go like we have for decades now. So we need a source of revenue. And I have ideas about that, but nobody really likes my idea about that. So we're going to have to figure it out.
Correct. You're right. And because the federal funds are starting to dry up.
Yep.
So
Yep.
It's
This
going to go
is
away.
it. This is it. We're looking at a deficit. And we've known this. We've known this.
We had a big old deficit before
We
the
did.
pandemic.
Yep.
It was a structural deficit which we were unable to repair. Then the pandemic came. Everything
And
went
it was like,
blazes.
yay, money. No, this is not. No, that's not how that works.
Well, that's not how it worked at first. But then in the next year, people started saying, "Well, geez, this is an emergency. How do we take care of the emergency? Let's use that," and it worked. And then in the second year, they say, "Oh yeah, now what else can we spend this on? Because you got to use it or lose it."
Right, you
And
lose-
now in the
right.
third year, it's like, "Uh-oh,
Yeah.
yeah."
All
You
right.
have literally hundreds of people, and everyone wants their little slice of pie, right? So
How many people are on the Senate Finance Committee?
I think we have 10.
All right.
No, at least 8.
But you
we're
can't-
not always all there because
There.
we're in going back and forth in other committees.
But Senate cannot make huge changes to the House's budget that it just passed
right,
out,
right,
Because
because-
you'll be here for 2 more years trying to reconcile it.
That's
so you could maybe finesse it,
If
but
it's
you
not
couldn't
in-
really hack it out.
Right. If it's not in by now and you didn't get it, you're not going to get it. Basically,
Well, you're not going to add anything. To
you're
it,
not
that's
going
for
to.
sure.
No, we're not. No,
But
absolutely
I'm just
not.
saying, if you wanted to hack it up and make it smaller, there's going to be a lengthy process afterwards, probably too long, to try
Yeah.
to reconcile it.
Yeah, and there have been some years where one side has just gotten up and walked away. That's happened in recent years.
I remember.
Yeah, so if we do that, then
Right
we
after Thanksgiving dinner, let's all have a caucus.
right, and then if one side walks away or we don't vote on that budget, then the budget doesn't pass and the fiscal year starts on July 1st.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether you
So-
like it or not.
Not,
Right.
yeah.
So, you need a budget. And if we don't pass a new budget, what happens is we revert back to the prior year's budget
Yeah.
until a new budget passes. But so it's not like we, don't have appropriations in place. We don't have money and every government's going to shut down. That doesn't happen on the state level, but it's better if we don't drag it out.
Do you see where this 50% increase over the last 5 years? Do you see that 50% coming down?
It better
It has
next
to.
year.
It has to.
Okay.
It better next year because 5 years ago we had a structural deficit.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it had better come down by 50% next year.
Okay. Well, good luck with all that, Melissa.
Yeah, thanks. Great decisions are going to be made.
Over the weekend,
Easy ones, right?
A pickup truck crashed into a house in Smithfield. And
Yeah.
usually when you hear about these things, people aren't home, but people were home this time.
Oh, yeah.
And the two people, there were people inside the home at the time, but not in the room that was hit by the vehicle.
Right. Thank
So
goodness.
no one got hurt.
What's
So
going on in
good that-
Smithfield?
I don't know, a lot lately.
Yeah.
No injuries were reported, but the house did have structural damage, but it is livable, so it
Yeah.
didn't hit it too hard.
They're at home. At least, they
Right.
figure, hey, let's stay home. Let's not go to the restaurant because they drive through restaurants.
That's right.
Right.
I've often thought about that with my house because I live on a kind of a major road.
Yeah.
And luckily, I've got some decent trees.
Yeah.
In my front yard. Someone would have to actually they'd have to stop, turn 90 degrees, and then get through 2 trees to actually hit the house.
Yeah.
They'd have to try to do it. So I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was telling Dave before we went on the air, it seems to be a new thing at concerts. And this happened in Mansfield over the weekend. Chris Stapleton was there. Chris Stapleton's a huge country star. 2 sold-out shows on Friday and Saturday. He stops the show on Saturday night and said, "This guy's being a jerk. He's pointing at someone in the crowd. Get him out of here." A lot more artists are doing that. Usually, well, obviously to the people just in the front, they have no idea what's going on in the back.
Right.
And so he stopped the show, and the security said, "Come with us." And so they said, "If you're not here to have a good time, you can leave now. We're all here to have a good time," and everybody cheers, yeah. And then he continued on with the show. So
Wow.
fun stuff, huh?
Publicly shaming
Shut-
someone
you
for
get out.
acting like-
I've
yeah.
seen him do it. I've seen Metallica do it. Just people being jerks in the crowd. Okay, get out. All right, break time on Coffee and time for the weather forecast, which is being brought to us by the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 79 degrees. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 62. Possible thunderstorms are 70% likely, and up to 3/4 of an inch of rain could happen overnight. Tuesday's weather, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 75. Light and variable wind becoming southwest in the morning. The chance of precipitation during the day on Tuesday, 30%. Wednesday, a 60% chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Partly sunny skies, though, with a high of 78. Thursday, mostly sunny and 77. Friday, mostly sunny and 75. Saturday, mostly sunny and 78. And on Sunday, the temperature will be 77 and partly sunny skies.
And currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, where we do have cloudy skies. It's kind of humid, 70 degrees. Explore the many hidden gems of Massachusetts and discover that the best things in life aren't things. There are moments. Go to visitma.com for your chance to win a getaway, including hotel dinners and outdoor activities.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
A great summertime activity is back at the Beef Barn. It's cruise night, and it takes place tomorrow night starting at 4 p.m. Take a stroll through the more than 150 classic cars where you'll marvel at the beauty and craftsmanship of these automotive gems. Whether you're an avid collector or simply appreciate the nostalgia, Cruise Night at the Beef Barn is an event not to be missed. If you get hungry, the Beef Barn has their full menu, including their famous roast beef sandwiches, plus chowder and clam cakes. Cruise Night at the Beef Barn, 200 Industrial Drive, North Smithfield, Tuesday nights during the summer, starting at 4 p.m.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruz and Bruce Palmer inviting you to join me for the Saturday Block Party. It's every Saturday from 4 until 7 p.m. when we fill the airwaves with the songs you want to hear. It's a party in every sense of the word, so join me live on 99.5 and 1240 a.m. or bring the show with you wherever you go at onworldwide.com.
It is Coffee and here on ON. Thanks for joining us, and thanks, Bruce. This is Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Dave Richards. And Melissa, I told Dave this off the air. I'm not normally right on these things, but I was right this time. Chris Sale for the Boston Red Sox went from the 15-day disabled list to the 60-day disabled list.
I do remember you saying that.
And he now will become available to pitch August 2nd. I thought it'd be by the All-Star break, which is in July, but no, it'll be a little past that if he's even ready to pitch. And I said the only silver lining in this whole thing is that he can at any time go pitch for Worcester. And if he's feeling okay, he can go pitch down there and get some innings in and get his arm strength back and like that. There's no timeline to do that, but if he does, it usually draws a crowd down there to see how he's doing. So there's the silver lining right there. You can go see him there. But
So
yeah,
I'm confused about this.
well, it's the way it
Like
works
you
in
said-
Major League Baseball.
Okay,
He
all
can't
right. So,
he can't pitch for the Major League team,
but he could pit.
but he can go down to the minor leagues and pitch down there and get some practice in. Yeah,
Okay, that seems
that's fine.
all right. All right. I don't understand it, but
And well, if they really wanted to, they could back up the 60-day disabled list so we could actually start a little earlier. Well, we'll just move the start date to April, and then go 2 months out from there. That's a possibility.
That's
too.
wild. Okay.
But I don't know how painful his shoulder is.
he got hurt in April.
oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So now they put him on the 60-day list after he was on a 15-day
So it's an
list.
additional.
yeah, it went
Okay.
to
Right.
60.
All right.
So they could say, well, really, he's
It's
been
really
on the
started
disabled
It's like
list
a sentence.
from
It could
15
run-
days
run
before that, so
concurrently.
we'll,
Yes.
Right,
so it'll be
okay.
45 instead of 60
I got
in
it. All right.
actuality.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what's up with Chris Frail.
I have
Anyway.
some positive news.
What do you have, Melissa?
So, do you remember those little kittens that I rescued about a month ago?
That's right,
And they
yeah.
were just 4 weeks old, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do with these tiny little kittens?" So I visited them yesterday. They're now about 8 weeks old. Shout out to the Woonsocket Cat Sanctuary. One of their volunteers stepped in and said, "Oh, I can foster these 5 little kittens."
Oh, great.
So they're almost ready to go. They're going to go to the vet, and then they'll be available for adoption not through me, not through her, but through the cat sanctuary. So they are just so cute. I needed a kitten fix. I'm not going to adopt one.
They come
Promise.
Over,
Well, you
come
have
over
to
and
be
see ya.
careful. You have to be
Yeah.
reasonable about it.
Oh, but there's one that's like all like white face, and he has like a little black mustache. He's so cute. But I'm like, nope,
no.
not doing this. But they are all
you can-
healthy. They all made it through.
What's
Excellent.
the one with the mustache? What's the name? Pepe Le Pew?
No, they don't have names
Oh.
yet.
You don't
I mean,
name them yet.
yeah, they don't name them yet.
It's okay. They don't come anyway.
Right, they don't. And people are going to rename them whatever.
Anyway, yeah.
I wanted to name them all after Star Wars characters, so
Right.
but it wasn't my choice.
I'm glad they all made it though.
Yeah, it's
could you
good.
could
So-
you tell the difference between 4 weeks and now 8
Oh,
weeks?
yeah.
Have they gotten much bigger?
Well, I mean, so for folks watching, like 4 weeks, they were like, this big, and now
About the width
Yeah.
of a CD, and
yeah,
now
yeah,
they're more
and
like,
now they're
the
this
width
big.
of a wiener at New York lunch. Yeah.
They're still very tiny, but
All right. So, Melissa, I don't know if you know the answer to this. The Senate passed the bill last week that Rhode Islanders over the age of 21 can now have remote access to casino table games at Bally's Twin River.
yes.
Okay. And the bill goes to the House
Yes.
for its consideration. But if I'm a wily 19-year-old with my phone, how does Bally's know I'm not of age? How and I just download the app and I'm inside Rhode Island. I'm doing almost everything right. How do they stop people underage from gambling?
So you have to certify that. I'm sorry, I have pollen.
I thought
So-
it was the coffee.
It's not the coffee.
Not the coffee.
Jeez.
I imagine that you
Melissa
probably
never
have
used
to.
to cough and hack after drinking my coffee before.
No, the coffee's helping. So, I imagine, have to upload your, your
Oh, like a
license and ID.
license?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
I didn't think of
so-
that. Okay.
Identification.
Yeah, you have to
Besides, if
certify. You
win-
can't just upload the app,
the app
and,
and say, "Oh,
and
yeah,
start playing. No.
What's your birthday? Well, 3,
yeah, no.
23, 60.
Check this
60.
mark. Check this mark to certify you are over 21.
I
No, it's
Certified
not.
number because they have to do withholdings if you win.
That's
Well,
right.
that's true.
That's
right.
right.
So there's an identification process,
All right.
Yes,
As long as that's
yeah.
all in there and everything's on the up and up. Okay, fine. I was just wondering how they
which
how
would
they did that.
mortify me. I wouldn't want to do it just for that.
Putting your
I'd rather
personal
drive down
information
the
into an
street to
app is.
Lincoln.
Yeah, right.
I'm not so sure I want to put all that information plus my banking information up there.
Right.
That's right. We got We'll direct deposit it for you. Your
Yeah, I bet
winnings.
you will.
And we also need a credit card to take it away too.
Oh, please don't put your credit card number in there.
All right. Well,
For so many reasons, right?
well, how do you bet then?
No, I know.
Unless you give me a
Nothing like
banking
betting with
info.
money that you don't
have.
actually have.
So
right?
many people, Joe,
So many people do
in
it,
the
though.
last 5-10 years have gotten comfortable with having just about all their financial information and personal identification on their cell phones.
No, yeah.
And having it in the cloud somewhere where someone can access it. Their comfort level is not exceeded by these things. I get it, but I've not joined their ranks yet.
Okay.
I'd rather keep private things private.
All right. I'm just glad they have some qualifications to make sure that that's not taking place. All right. Well, the football club, the soccer team that's supposed to play in Pawtucket.
We finally found out where they're going to play
not
now.
playing in Pawtucket on their inaugural season, which will be next year. And it was kind of what we thought would happen. They have to reach out to, well, where are the soccer fields? Well, they're at the colleges. Who can help us? And Bryant University is where they're going to play their inaugural season. I hear they're bringing in some stands.
Well, they could.
football club.
Bryant University, remember, used to do the preseason practices for the
The
Patriots
Patriots,
before the
yes.
Patriots built their own facility to
Yeah.
do so. And so Bryant University it was actually Bryant College when they started doing it. So there was an awful lot of the Patriots were down there, and that's because they have a sprawling Tupper campus, and they they got room for all this stuff.
And they were looking. The football club was looking for amenities too. Of
course they are.
Of course,
You know,
yeah.
where can we store our stuff? Where can what about the opposing team? Do they have locker room facilities? All that stuff is going to be thought about. And,
Yep.
and so they came to some agreement. And I did read something because some reporter asked, "How much you paying Bryant University to do this?" That would be no comment.
Of course,
Oh, okay.
it's a private deal.
Well, yes, it is. So, but they just want to. No
But
harm in asking.
whatever it is, Tidewater Landings is not getting the money.
That's right.
So that's another hit for being tardy.
Well, yeah, as they figure out what to do with the financing down there in
It's going to
Pawtucket.
cost more and more to not finish the job.
Makes you wonder what's going to happen down there in Pawtucket. So, so I told Dave this story because we have it in here. This out of Massachusetts, Melissa. Umpires will not work for the Taunton West Little League.
Oh,
Did you hear what happened?
okay. Refresh my memory.
Well, there was controversy, and what they do is, well, most people do, most little leagues, they hire out umpires from outside their town. Mm-hmm. So there's so the umpires don't have any stake in the game.
Right. Makes sense.
It doesn't. They could care less who wins or loses, kind
Right.
of thing. But I guess the Taunton West Little League hires the Greater Taunton Amateur Umpire Association. So I guess
Okay.
the people are from that town. But those guys, the association made the decision over safety concerns not to officiate any more Taunton West Little League games. And it is, by the way, it is a playoff time. And this is what happened. During one of the games over the weekend, the situation was, I guess it's bottom of the sixth inning. The home team is up. There's a guy in first place. Remember, these are 11 and 12-year-olds too. And something happens where the ball is like in foul territory, and he throws it back to the pitcher. But the umpire has to put the ball in play. He actually, when he gets behind
That's
the catcher,
a rule. That's a rule. After the
Yeah.
play, the umpire has to give the
umpire-
ball to the pitcher.
Yeah, but the umpire will get behind the catcher and actually point. Pitch. Ball's in play. Okay, he doesn't do that. But the pitcher has the ball, and the batter's in the batter's box, so the pitcher throws the ball. The guy at the plate hits a home run. Now they think they've won the game. And the umpire had to wave the whole thing off. No, I never put the ball in play. It's a dead ball. So you go back to first base. You who batted, come back out. You're still up to bat, and it's whatever the count still is. And we start over. So now there's grumblings already
Right.
because the parents think
the
they've won.
parents, right? Yeah.
The kid up at the plate that just hit the home run strikes out. Next guy up,
Dear.
next guy up strikes out, and the game is over, and the home team is lost. fans are irate.
I bet.
And they're taking it out on the umpire. Mm-hmm. Not only swearing at him, and the base umpire too, because there's two of them there, but now they're following him to their cars.
Oh no.
And we're gonna beat you up, and we're gonna follow you home, and it was terrible harassment. So they report this obviously to the umpire association. What's happened to them at this game, and that's when the association said, "That's it. We're not umpiring your games anymore." And now, because it's so late, they can't get any other umpires. They're busy, and there's been a lack of umpires. So what the Taunton West Little League has had to do? All right, you made your bed, you lay in it. We want you parents, you go umpire. You think this game's so easy to
Right.
do? You think this is easy?
Right.
You do it.
Yep. Lesson learned.
So that's what they're going to do. And like Dave said, it's just another example of parents, adults behaving badly in front of the children.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Hopefully the lesson here is that, your parents behaved badly and now they don't get to have what they want. So this is what happens when you behave poorly and you throw a temper tantrum.
But
That's right.
But unfortunately, it affects the kids, and this is just,
Yep. Are we gonna keep playing? Are we gonna be allowed to play?
Right.
Who's
But this
umpiring
is
the games?
well, you can't do a game if you're not set up for it. If you don't have umpiring, they're not going to allow a game to go. It's got to be adult supervision.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the game's not going to count. You go out there and play Sandlot. Well, that's right, but it doesn't count as a little league game.
But the
Right.
catcher can't call
So-
balls and strikes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but this is what's been going on now for years, where adults are behaving badly in front of the kids.
Keeps escalating though.
it does.
Another
getting
great
worse.
example of that, Mr. Trump, who should probably still be president of the United
What
States,
game did he umpire?
behaving badly in front of the kids.
Yeah.
And so, we spend all these, these parenting efforts in trying to instill in our kids fair play,
Fair play, yes.
honest, be respectful, give respect, get respect.
Yep.
And then Mr. Trump comes along and calls people losers and bullies them up on media and dumb stuff like that. It's adults behaving badly in front of the kids, and it's the hallmark of this generation that I hope that we can get through and get to the other side, and then we'll start seeing a little bit better behavior. But these parents that you're describing and their actions right in front of the kids, this is not how you act.
Especially if you're following the umpires to their car.
That's really awful.
and
Yeah.
say we're coming after you, kind of thing.
Because
So-
that's actionable now. The umpires can go to the police.
Yeah. You can't
There
threaten.
was talk of that. They actually had to threaten the parents. If you don't back off, we're calling the cops.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't threaten someone with physical violence over
yes.
a little league game.
But you pull out, the umpire pulls out his cell phone, takes pictures of the people who are
Of the
threatening them,
crowd, yeah.
calls the cop and says, "These people
help
threaten
me."
my safety and my life, and I believe it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the key, by the way.
Yeah. I believe I'm going to get hurt.
And I
Yeah.
believe that they're going to do this.
Yeah.
And when they do that, now a felony complaint is filed against the parents.
Right. And what I
Try
find
to get
what I find
past
amusing
that.
is that if these I'm just gonna say dads, if these dads go out and try to umpire who have no experience, there's
They're
a
not
ton,
gonna know
there's
all
a
the
ton
rules.
of rules.
Oh,
in-
yeah.
in baseball, even in Little League, even has more. They have more rules than Major League Baseball. So
Yeah.
they're gonna be looking at each other, saying, "Well, what do we do? What do we do in that play? Oh, gee, I don't know."
Oh yeah. Don't and
Well,
don't make
we
those
gotta
other
we gotta
right.
we gotta make a call one way or the other. And
There is
And
no
yeah,
appeal
yeah,
process.
Yeah. Right.
that's right.
That's right.
Okay, out. So
Yeah, and
anyway,
don't make your make the other parents mad, or they might follow you to your car.
That's right.
Oh, hey, how about that?
All right, but I think it's a good punishment. it's
called karma,
Okay,
and,
you go umpire the games if you think this is such an easy job.
Yeah.
All right, more coffee ads coming your way. Please don't go anywhere.
At Dean Bank, their focus is on helping their customers achieve financial success. Dean Bank is a full-service bank, so they're able to deliver solutions that solve financial problems of all shapes and sizes. And as your neighbor, it's their mission to make a positive impact within the communities where they live and work. Dean Bank offers scholarships to students from participating schools, sponsor local charitable organizations, and more. Visit one of their local Blackstone Valley branches in Bellingham and Blackstone today, or find us online at deanbank.com. Dean Bank, it's my bank.
Fresco Italiano, a Night of the Arts, returns to the St. Anarton Cultural Center on Saturday evening, June 24th at 5 p.m. The evening will feature professional artists, an art competition by the Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts featuring students from Woonsocket and Cumberland high schools, and a delicious Italian buffet served under the center's magnificent fresco paintings. Tickets are available at Beelus Flowers, Creative Impressions, The Honey Shop, Timeless Antiques, and Vos True Value Hardware. For more information and menu, visit the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center website.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
Thanks for joining us on the Coffee and program. This is Joe Callahan. That's Dave Richards over there. Melissa Murray's over there.
Good morning.
And so we have an animal story for you, Melissa. Melissa likes
please
a
don't be
good,
sad.
good animal story. Well, it's not terribly sad,
Oh.
but there's an online petition.
Uh-huh.
They're going around, and they want to relocate a, quote, lonely giraffe from a park in Mexico and bring it to Texas. Okay? And this
Okay.
this online petition already has 80,000 signatures.
But does it have the proper credentials?
Well, I don't know. The petition is on change.org.
There'll be another illegal immigrant coming across the border.
And the petition is called Speak Up for Benito, the Lonely Giraffe. Okay? Benito is currently at Park Central in Juarez, Mexico. And the petition organizers want the giraffe relocated to Blue Hills Ranch, which is in McGregor, Texas, about 18 miles south of Waco. The ranch has a new giraffe farm where Benito would join giraffes named Blue and Google. We still have other buddies are there. All right. And the ranch's website, they will pay for transportation and a veterinarian for
Okay.
Benito. And they're working with an animal rescue in Juarez to relocate the lonely giraffe. So he's not there yet, but they're working on it.
Okay.
So
It sounds like a children's story, Benito, the
Benito,
lonely
the-
giraffe.
Well, it just reminds me, and Dave's going to remember this. Remember the Fanny the elephant at Slater Park?
Oh, yeah.
She
Yeah.
was all alone
Yeah.
and
chained.
up all the time.
Well, it had to be.
I know, but
their own
I
benefit.
just, you know,
I mean, they went on walkabout. You know, some car's going to hit him.
yeah.
So you had to chain
And
him.
do no damage to the elephant, too. And then they took it, they went away and went down to Texas. I
Yeah.
think it went down to Texas and started roaming around with other elephants.
Yeah.
It took a while for that
Yeah,
Fanny to
yeah.
get acclimated to these there's other animals like me.
Right.
Kind of thing. But that turned out well. I think that animal's still alive.
Could be.
And so that worked out well. So hopefully it works out well for Benito here. Get him to Texas and have him start
how-
roaming around with other giraffes.
and
Go ahead.
I'm an animal lover, but how do
Yes.
they know that he is lonely?
I think he's the only one.
Okay.
That's
The
what
only
that's
one
what
of
I'm
the
thinking.
species.
they're
The only giraffe at this park in Mexico.
so I assume giraffes are probably pack animals.
imagine,
most.
Oh, plus, you know, you have to
right.
understand, I heard this on our Old Farmer's Almanac report this morning, that giraffes have very long days. They sleep very little.
yeah.
Very, very little. In fact, the average giraffe sleeps an average of 5 to 30 minutes a day.
What?
They eat a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
No, it takes a long time for the food to go all the way to their tummy.
I guess so, yeah. So, but that makes it for a very long day to be lonely.
Does oh, okay.
So I told Dave this story a little bit. We had it on a little earlier. I like reading about stunts going awry. Do you know who Dave didn't know, but Melissa, do you know who Conor McGregor is?
I don't think so.
Conor McGregor is a former Ultimate Fighting champion.
Oh yes,
From
right.
Ireland.
Yes, yep.
Very strong guy.
Yes.
He-
Now I know. Yep.
Okay. Well, he's down in Miami because the Miami Heat are playing the Denver Nuggets for the NBA Finals, and there is a planned sketch between him and the Miami Heat's mascot, and they're going to be probably at halftime. They can be,
Okay.
and they're going to pretend to fight.
Okay.
All right. Well, Connor takes it a little too hard. I don't know if he had a little too much drinking his own whiskey or whatever, but
He was too close.
They were exchanging blows, and McGregor's punches were so strong it sent the mascot to the hospital.
Oh no.
In
poor
front of
guy.
a full group
In
of
front
fans.
in front of the whole auditorium, yeah.
With a big costume on right
yeah,
through
he had the costume on, and he hit him. I don't know where, but enough that he hurt the man inside the mascot costume. Had to go to the hospital. Had minor injuries, and he's expected to be okay.
He
but,
won't be asked back, will he?
Probably not. Or if he does, he's gonna have to pay to get in this time. And you know things go wrong when the mascot just falls and doesn't get back up.
It doesn't move.
Yeah. Uh oh.
Oh, yikes.
And you ask the guy inside the mascot. It's like being inside the Burger King. Are you okay? No. All right. Where's the trainer? We need someone out here.
Yeah, bring the trainer
I
out.
wonder
They
if
got to
they-
kneel by there.
I wonder if they brought out the stretcher.
I don't
The
know.
mascot put stuff in the stretcher. But that is too bad.
But they
took
probably
place.
would
This
have had
happened
to
last
loosen
Friday.
or take off part of the costume.
They will not do it in front of the crowd.
I hope they don't.
'Cause
That's
the
not,
kids will
that's not
freak out.
showbiz.
That happened at McCoy Stadium one time.
Yeah.
Where
With paws or socks?
with paws. He didn't get hurt. He wasn't hurt, but for whatever reason, he decided to stand up on one of the folding chairs in the stands, and get the crowd going. Well, his foot slipped off, and now it's between the seat, the back of the seat, and the ground. And now he had on those big shoes. He cannot get his foot out. The only way to get out is he has to get out of the costume, and then he can pull his foot out, and then they can maneuver the foot and get it out. But there's a game going on,
Oh my.
and he's out. He's up the third base line when this is going on, and we're watching him from the press box. What's going on over there? Well, so as not to, you can't ruin the magic, They brought out a screen, like
I was
a
going to say, they
dressing
bring like
screen.
a tent or something.
Something like that was had four sides and set it up, and it was tall enough and wide enough, and they stood around it. Four people stood around it, so in case any foul balls come your way, you could say duck or whatever. And the guy got out of his costume, and they maneuvered the foot back out, then got back into the costume, put the head back on, and
Came out and everyone was like,
and then they
"Yay!"
removed the screen, and hey, I'm here. So things happen to those people that are in mascot costumes. that you
Not a
just-
job I would
that you
take. I'm
just-
not tall enough
you
anyway,
didn't-
but
you didn't expect to do. And
Well, you could do R2D2.
can you get in that little trash can?
I probably could.
I did that as a job, by the way. I did it for 3 days. I was the Providence Bruins mascot bear.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
yeah.
I was at Indian Point Park one time. I was at the Civic Center one time. And what's great about the job is, one, you like the Burger King, you don't have to talk. You say nothing, which is great. Everybody's happy to see you. And you wave, you smile, and everyone wants their picture taken with you.
Yep.
So there's constantly people, around you hugging you all the time. It's a blast. A little tough with the vision,
Yeah.
with the head on, because the way it was designed at that time, no peripheral vision, straight ahead. That's it. If you wanted to see what's happening to the right, you had to turn, and it was hot.
You reminded me of a story that I probably tried to push out of my memory when I was probably in high school. Maybe my mom was working some kind of assistant job at Harris School, and my brother was there, and she said, "Oh, we're doing this little day for the kids. It's like a library day or something, and we think it'd be really funny if you and your friend came dressed as Bert and Ernie, and we got the costumes probably from Harlequin, and they were like giant heads, and I was Ernie because I was shorter. So this a football shaped head
With the little black
and-
hair on top. Yeah.
right, with the costume and everything."
Yeah.
Those kids were so mean to us.
Really?
Yes, they started pushing us and saying, "You're not really Bert and Ernie," and
okay.
it was and you can't see.
That's right.
Kids behind you. I think they tried to take our heads off. It was
Wow.
not. Yeah.
I had a much better experience.
Yeah. It was rough. We were in the playground. We got bullied.
Sounds
I
scary.
forgot all about that
Wow.
until you said it, and I remembered the Ernie head.
You have to go home and lay down. Traumatic childhood.
Oh,
stuff.
thanks for volunteering me.
All right, and the Unabomber passed away over the weekend.
Oh, shame.
Actually killed himself, is what I'm
Oh.
hearing. And he was 81.
Yep.
Got sick a number of years ago. Now he was out in a federal prison in Colorado. When he got sick, I guess they couldn't handle it out there, and they moved him to Virginia or North Carolina, another facility.
Someplace with an infirmary,
Yeah,
right?
and I guess he never really got better. And this is just pre-COVID too. It wasn't a COVID thing. He just, he was late 70s and just got sick. So, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. Ted Kaczynski,
Yep.
turned in by his brother. How about that?
Well,
Way to waste a life.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
His brother looked at what was going on. He goes, "Boy, this fits my brother's description to a T. You might want to go check him out in his shack out there in Montana." And sure enough, that was him. Amazing, huh? All right, we've come to the end of the program, so we thank you for listening. As always, Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Dave Richards, thanks for sticking around.
Great being here.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Remember, Tiki Bar is coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Coming up next, it is At the Library with Leslie Page, and then Food First with Karen Zangari, all on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. The soccer club Rhode Island FC will play its first season at Bryant University.